So with all of my friends and I graduated and basically our entire senior class, I thought we were done, okay? And that's not like a bad thing. I don't mean that in any malicious way, like, oh, I thought my friends and I were finally done. Oh, because I hate my friends. I don't hate my friends. My friends are great. They're awesome. And a few of them aren't watching this video because they're gone forever. They're not really gone forever. They're just going to college or doing other things. Like one's going to Germany and one's going to West Point, la-di-da-di-da. But here's the thing, right? One of my friends, more specifically the one who's going to West Point, he wanted to do like a last hurrah, like a last shebang, like the last thing that he'll do with us. So what does he do, right? We've graduated. We're basically freshmen in college now, you know, no more kiddie stuff, no more kiddie games. So where did he decide for all of us to go? Great Wolf Lodge. Great Wolf Lodge. And don't get me wrong, I was so down for that. Like, dude, Great Wolf Lodge is dope. I used to go there like all the time when I was a little kid, keyword little kid. And, you know, we used to do all this stuff. Like there was an arcade, there was a Dunkin' Donuts. Yes, that's up there in the top things at Great Wolf Lodge. There was a water park, especially the water park. And there was even this like knockoff Wizard 101 game. It's not a knockoff Wizard 101 game. It's an interactional experience where you get to be a wizard, and you know, if you pay a small price of like your soul and everything you love, then you can play this game, and you know, you can build a wand and stuff. And there was a Build-A-Bear there too. It's pretty cool, you know. It's a great place, especially for kids. And we ended up going there because we're cool. See, when we first got there, I immediately realized something. I'm too old to look like I belong there, like I should be there, but I'm not old enough to look like I should have a kid. But we'll get to all that in like a few minutes because we kind of got to plan this out. You know, I'm just letting you know that this happened in like a day. Like this entire conversation flew right over my head. I think I was at work or I was doing something, and basically I was kind of just sitting. I was sitting on my bed, just chilling, or it was in a chair. The details don't really matter. And all of a sudden I get a text in my friend's group chat. It's from one of my friends, and he's like, "Oh, dude, yeah, that sounds fun." I'm sitting there, I was like, "What? Like, what sounds fun? I don't understand." And everyone like keeps jumping in like, "Oh yeah, when are we doing this? Blah 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 blah." I'm sitting here, I'm like, what's going on? Because I'm confused. I'm like, did I miss a text? Or so naturally I look and there's nothing. It's just they just started texting out of the blue about nothing in particular. And one of my main friends, the one who like is going to West Point, we'll call him Reginald. So basically Reginald, he seems like he's in the know, like he somehow set this up. And I'm sitting here, I'm a little confused because I don't have the details like everyone else. I'm like, what is going on? So obviously I text in the chat. I'm like, "Hey guys, so what's going on?" Okay, because I didn't know. I was like, if they're trying to, I mean, it would really be messed up, but if they're trying to like plan something without me, I don't want to like say like, "Oh, what are we doing, guys?" So I was just like, what's going on? Like it was kind of just an out to give them a chance to be like, "Oh shoot, we forgot he was in this group chat." Of course, that wasn't the case. But all that happens is and my other friend, we'll call him Jefferson. That's what we'll call him. Jefferson basically just replied, and he just went, "Oh," he's like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be cool." And I was like, "It's gonna be cool? What the heck? That doesn't help me at all." He's like, "Oh, by the way, what's Great Wolf Lodge?" And I'm like, "What's Great Wolf Lodge? Great Wolf Lodge? We're going to Great Wolf Lodge?" Dude, Great Wolf Lodge was a big part of my childhood. I'm not even gonna lie to you right now. I'm gonna give it to you straight. Bye. So when I heard there was an inkling of a chance of us going to Great Wolf Lodge, I was kind of hyped, but I still didn't really know. And I was gonna meet up with one of my friends. We'll call him Bob. I was gonna meet up with Bob, and we were gonna like hang out and do something because I had like a lightsaber. It was a whole thing. So basically I was like, "Oh, I'll just ask him when we go hang out," because, you know, yeah, like I was like, it'll be something to talk about anyway. It'll be cool. It'll be great. And it'll be a whole thing. And I didn't really know what was going on. And then like later that day, my mom kind of went up to me and she's like, "So what's the plan for Thursday?" I'm like, "What do you mean, what's the plan for Thursday?" Like, "What do you mean? Like, this out of the blue? Are we doing something Thursday? Is it with the cousins?" And she's like, "No, you're doing something with your friends, right?" I was like, huh. So more of the story, turns out that, what did I say his name was? Did I say Jefferson? I don't know. Jefferson. This whole thing is falling apart. Turns out, let's just go with Jefferson, the guy who planned the whole thing. Basically sent a text. For some reason, I didn't receive the text. It was funny. We laughed. La-di-da-di-da. So eventually we get to the point where my parents are like, "Yo, we're going to be working. If you want to get over there, you're going to need a ride from one of your friends." So I get a ride with one of my friends. We show up at Jefferson's house. It's great. It's cool. We're waiting on one of our other friends. Another one of our friends who was supposed to be there is in Germany for like an exchange program. That was pretty cool. Sucked that he couldn't be there, but you know, he's having fun in Germany eating good school food without us. So, you know what? I'm mad. Not really mad. I'm happy for him, but still. So basically, we all get in the car. I end up sitting in the middle for some reason. It always happens. So my friends will be like, "Oh, you're stubborn." But like, listen, we're picking up one of our friends because we're all carpooling there. And like, basically, there wasn't a lot of room in the car. So one of my friends goes, like, I'm like, "Oh, what are we gonna do? Like, you're like the smallest, you should sit in the middle, right?" Just like logically, I was kind of like alluding to that. And he was like, "What? No, we'll just have him sit in the middle." I'm like, "Bro, my man's doesn't even know what he's getting into, and you're gonna have him sit in the middle? Like, that's dumb." So, you know, we kind of got to the point where no one wanted to sit in the middle. And I was just like, whatever, man, I'll take one for the team. I do it all the time anyway. Like, we know it works. And we'll just suffer with the consequences if it doesn't. You know, that's just kind of the situation we were in. That was a mistake. I'm sorry. Eventually, we get to Great Wolf Lodge, and it's like, yay, Great Wolf Lodge, so much fun. But this also gets to the part, at least, where I mentioned that this place is for kids, and we're all 18. So, you know, a bunch of 18-year-olds walk into Great Wolf Lodge. What do you do? Anyway, we park, we walk in, and we get to, you know, the giant line at Great Wolf Lodge, if you've ever been there. And it wasn't that big, but we still waited. Turns out we didn't have to wait in that line, and we just kind of like wasted a little time. We just had to go to the gift shop where they sold like wolf ears and stuff like that. My friends are making bits like, furry, blah, 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 and stuff like that, and talked about stuff like dignity and stuff like that. But dude, we're at Great Wolf Lodge. We've already lost our dignity. So, you know, when they give us our little wristbands so we can go to the water park, like, okay, guys. They also gave us like wolf ears and like, put them on. I'm going to need you guys to howl. Like I said again, kids place. And no, before you ask, I know I'm wearing a pigskin, but I'm not a furry. But, you know, I'm down to, like, have some fun. So they're like, we gotta howl. I'm like, okay, well, I guess we kind of gotta. So, you know, my friends all kind of awkwardly look at each other. And they look at me, and I'm kind of sitting there. I was like, okay, you know what, YOLO. And I'm like, ooh. None of my friends did it. Cowards. And then we went on with our day. You know, we took a few pictures, and then we made it to the water park. And let me tell you, the water park there is pretty cool. But I remember it being pretty... the wither. I remember it being pretty awesome back in the day when I was a little kid. So I kind of figured that it was going to be significantly less awesome now, just because I'm older and that's kind of how it works. Wait. So anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked. We made it to the water park, and we were like, oh man, this is gonna be crazy. Probably not a big deal, but you know, we're together and we're gonna have fun, because that's usually how these things work. And you know, I'd been there before. None of my friends had, though. So we're kind of at the point where I was like, I kind of knew what was going on, but I hadn't been there in years, so I didn't know everything. So we go on this one ride that doesn't need a tube. Okay, it's like, oh, 4-person ride. I was like, perfect, there's like 4 of us here. Anyway, we wait in line for this ride, and we're kind of just sitting there. We're like, oh, this is gonna be fun, and we go on it. And honestly, it was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be kind of lame, but you know, we're 18. It must be weight distribution, honestly, because it was a lot more fun than I remembered. And there was only 2 rides where you didn't need a tube to go on. You know, usually you need to pick up like a tube and wait in line. It was like single riders or double riders, but this one, it was like 4 people. And I was like, okay, let's go on this ride. And it's like the one that's most advertised. I mean, it's like sticking outside the building. So we had a little high expectations for this. We're like, what's it gonna be? You know, I had this one friend who, when we got on it, you know, we were just cruising down it like normal, and he was like literally like laying on the tube, like laying back when we were sitting in the tube, and he's like touching and he's like touching like the like little water slide part with his back. Like I said, I don't remember everything, but as soon as I saw him, I was like, wait, dude, you probably shouldn't. And then like we hit a drop, and he got like a burn on his back in the shape of an L. It was a whole bit, but he's okay. It looked worse than it actually was, apparently. So yeah, he's fine. That's just unlucky, but you know, it is what it is. Am I right? But we go on this ride, like I said, it was a draw. We called it a boss battle, because man, we were not prepared. If like the first round was bad, that was like the tutorial, because man, we were flying everywhere. We were flipping everywhere. I mean, when I was a kid and I'd go on water slides, right, I never really felt like I needed to hold on. Okay, like sometimes I would, but like it would be like a really like grip. I'm more focused on having fun. I never felt the need to. But now we got like 4 18-year-old boys just on this water slide, on the same water slide, and we are just getting absolutely destroyed, man. Honestly, it was probably the first time in my life where I felt like I was on a ride, and if I didn't hold on with like everything I had, I was gonna die. And that's not an exaggeration, because you know, you fall off the water slide, who knows what's gonna happen. And it was so much fun. It was crazy, and we went on more rides like that. It was just like, I thought Great Wolf Lodge was going to be lamer because I was older, but honestly, it was just 10 times more fun. I mean, sometimes I let my intrusive thoughts win, and it's not what you think, okay? I'm literally sitting there at the water park, and they're like this giant play structure with all these kids on it, and they're all having fun. They are, and we go on the play structure, my friends and I, because we're just like, but it's like a kiddie play structure, but there's like these water guns attached. And there's this one kid who's sitting there and he's like rinsing his hands with one of the water guns. And I'm sitting there, I'm right in front of it. I'm like, if I lift this like 2 steps up, this kid's gonna die. So what did I do? Well, I lifted it up, of course. It like shot the kid right in the face, and I started like spraying all the kids with the water. Yeah, it sounds a lot worse than it actually was. You know, some of the kids were laughing, and my friends were like, "Dude, stop bullying the little kids." I'm like, "But it's so easy." And like, you don't get opportunities like this. So like my goal for the day, don't call me crazy, don't think I'm weird, it's a bit, man. You gotta believe me, it's a bit, okay? I'm not actually a monster. My goal for the day, my secret goal, was when no one was looking, to just like shove a kid. Is that bad? It probably is, isn't it? But it'd be so funny, right? Like, I'm not the only one, right? I'm not crazy. I'm not. Come on, tell me if you weren't in my position, you would do the exact same thing. Unfortunately, never really happened though. So that sucked, but yeah, it is what it is, you know, maybe next year. You know, we took some funny pictures. Of course, we couldn't really, we couldn't take a lot of pictures on like the actual slides and the actual fun parts because, you know, we don't want our phones to die. And like, I have a Samsung and my phone's not waterproof. So it's kind of just like the thing where my friends are like, oh, ours are. And I was like, oh, just use those. He's like, okay, just because our phones are waterproof doesn't mean like we just sit here and get them soaked, because then they're actually gonna die. They're water resistant, not waterproof. But anyway, you know, we had a lot of fun after the whole water park bit where we almost died several times and had a blast. We, you know, dried off and we went into the actual Great Wolf Lodge part. We weren't staying the night, just staying there for a day. And, you know, we checked the Build-A-Bear and the arcade, and we saw the Mario like hung himself for some reason. And there was a bunch of pride flags. I was like, dude, listen, Great Wolf Lodge, okay, I know they're a furry thing, but like, I don't know what all these pride flags are doing here. And I brought my concerns up to my friends, and they're kind of like, dude, it's Pride Month. And I was like, oh, see, I get it now. I thought, you know, I thought like the furries were gay. Not that that'd be a problem. No, I just thought it was funny. Come on, guys. I just thought it would be. Oh, I thought it was funny.